Faisal, you want to do that one? Faisal.
Welcome us to the show.
Hey, Faisal, you want to do that one more time? No? You're not going to start the show?
Allahu Akbar?
Allahu Akbar!
Yeah. There we go. It's official. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Skeptic Fence Show. I have Dave Rubin here. He's actually in the same hotel that I am. We're here at the Reason Rally, or the weekend of the Reason Rally at the Hyatt Regency. And Dave, thank you very much for spending a little time with us.
Yeah, it's good to be here. We just did 2 minutes with no audio. I felt really good about the beginning, and now even right this second, you can see we've fallen off. Here.
I'm not as good as a host as you are, so I think I already proven that. So, Dave, how are you enjoying yourself so far, man?
It's been great. I mean, there are people walking the streets here with brains.
Yes.
And you can feel it. And we live in a time when being smart and caring about reason and science and all that good stuff is not rewarded, which is explained by everything going on politically and culturally in our country right now. And the fact that there are people here who want to have important conversations. It's actually incredible.
It's great. And then when we were walking downstairs last night, there was the lounge area was pretty packed last night, and it was just everybody with Reason Rally shirts on from 2012, Skeptic shirts, atheist shirts, and the Thinking Atheist reality shirts they had on. So it was pretty cool. It was a really nice atmosphere. We met Penn Jillette down there last night. It was pretty cool, and James Randy. So I'm really happy.
Big hate rally, right? It's just a hate rally. It's a bunch of haters who hate religion. They hate religious people. They want to murder people, kick people out of the country.
We're all a bunch of bigots here.
Bigots.
Yeah,
it's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Except me, I'm the only brown person here.
Yeah,
Oh my God, it's funny. Who are you looking forward to when it comes to the speakers at the rally? Or are you looking forward to a certain person that you wish to meet?
Well, it's funny, actually. Margaret Cho was supposed to be on my show this week, and she canceled at the last second, so I'm going to have words with her tonight.
Nice.
But I love her, and I've interviewed her in the past. You know what? Everybody, really everybody, if I've learned anything from doing my show in the last 9 months, it's that I find that I learn something every week, and everything that I learn every week, I try to incorporate in the next show. And, the way the media works these days, these guys never learn. They never learn. They get something wrong and they repeat it again. The same people who got nothing right about Trump 6 months ago are the same people making all their predictions now. And so I'm excited to learn. Let me hear some people that I haven't heard of, and then I'll hear people that are good friends of mine, like Kelly Carlin, who's speaking a few minutes right before me tomorrow. Let's hear some ideas, and then let's build on those ideas.
Yeah, that's what our show is wrapped around, is basically having civil intellectual discourse, talking about the topics we should be talking about, especially the social issue topics, especially Islam that's been going on recently. And it's pretty amazing that we see what we call the regressives out there. It's like when they try to combat you, they try to shut down the conversation by saying that you're a bigot, racist, this and that. And then when you try to have open debate with these people, they just don't want to have it. They use these trigger words to say, well, and then their demographic looks at that you are a bigot, that you're hateful, and this and that, when we're not staying all.
Of course.
All. So it's always the hashtag not all meme that's been going around.
So Douglas Murray, who I've had on my show before, who's a brilliant British writer and speaker, who, being British is pretty great because everything you say sounds smarter than anything that you or I can say right now, right? If you're British, you're in good shape just by saying anything. But he made a really good point on Sam Harris's podcast about this regressive ideology. He said it's too late to take their their false cries of racism. It's too late to take them seriously. They've cried wolf so many times now. Now I'm jumping off what he said, but they've cried wolf so many times now. It is irrelevant. So now when I have people that I know in the public sphere that sometimes call me a racist, and it's like, then I'll say, well, can you point out to where I was racist? Which race is it that you think I'm against? Do you not understand the difference between ideas and people, and how I always, no matter how little credit I get for it from the regressives, will always go out of my way to make the distinction between ideas and people and all that stuff.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
And look, it buys you no credit with them, right?
Yeah.
So if I went on my show and I was like, oh, fuck all Muslims and blah, blah, blah. I know someone's going to cut that part out and send that, but... Faisal's already like, oh my God.
Faisal's already, we gotta put him in the picture.
But if I did that almost would have no difference to the regressive the people that subscribe to the regressive ideology. Even there, I'm making the difference between ideas and people, right? But that would have almost no difference whether I did that or made the distinction repeatedly between a book and then the people who believe in it, and the people who believe in it, I only care about their actions. I don't give a shit what anyone believes. I don't. I know there'll be a lot of atheists here that subscribe to the more we have to sort of destroy religion version of this. My personal feeling is I don't care what you believe, as long as you don't push it on me or try to behead me, I don't care.
Absolutely.
And I don't try to push, I'm not trying to make anyone live any other way. I'm trying to say what I think, but I'm not trying to push this so that you have to live the way I live.
Yeah.
Just don't fucking behead me.
Exactly.
And don't behead me and don't try to silence me.
Yeah.
And the rest of us, the good, sane, decent people that are most of us in the West,
That are trying to be honest.
that are trying to be honest, better fucking stop caring about their cries of racism, because otherwise they're winning already.
Correct.
And we're waking up. There's something going on, but we better wake up faster.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. And I think we want to talk about your show, the Rubin Report. I think you have a question, Grant?
I've got a couple questions.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, Dave.
Yeah, of course.
I'm kind of curious. Milo Yiannopoulos, if I said that correctly.
Yeah. Now say it backwards, and I'll
Yeah,
give you a cookie.
I'm actually pretty curious. What kind of conversations were had off camera?
So I've had Milo on a couple times now. So I've had him on my show twice, and then we were at UCLA. Do you want me to keep talking this way?
No, you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah. And then we were at UCLA just the other night.
Yeah.
I can tell you this, Milo. Look, we disagree on a lot of things. I've had him on the show where I've made the distinction between Muslims and the doctrine of Islam, and where
he
he
disagree with people either.
No!
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with that shit right now.
Please find something we disagree about, and I will gladly get into it.
Vice versa. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Of
That's what
course.
it's about.
Of
Yeah.
course. Imagine if you were only with people you agreed with all the time. That's
It
what
would
they've
suck.
done.
It would suck.
Yeah.
This is what-
the echo chamber and blocking and the buzzwords to shut you down.
Every now and again I'll see, I try not to pay that much attention on Twitter anymore because it's becoming so insane, but every now and again I'll see people say, oh, the Rubin Report's an echo chamber. And I'll go, I had the president of the Ayn Rand Foundation on 2 weeks ago. The week after I had John Fugelsang, who's a far left comic who didn't even know who I had on the week before and was bashing Ayn Rand. I've had, anti-climate people and pro-climate people. It's like, you can never win in every way, so you just have to do what you think. That's the most important thing.
Exactly,
But to answer your question, Milo, although we disagree on some stuff, and I think his tactics can be over the top, I think he actually is doing something important. He is desperately, coming from the right, where I come from the left, he is trying to break this demonic monstrosity of political correctness.
Barrier, yeah.
He is doing it. And if I learned anything by being with him at UCLA the other night, it was that the kids that were there, first off, there were white people, there were black people, there were Asian people, there were men, there were women, there were trans people, there were gay people.
Diversity.
Everybody, these were not, they make it sound like all these people that care about him or care about Trump, and this is not a defense of Trump, but these aren't just racist rednecks who subscribe to some of these ideas. These people cared about free speech. That was the only thing, that was the equalizer at the event, and that's what he cares about, and that's why I like him. Because it's like, you know what, the thing I care about most is free thought and free speech. So if we're equal on that, I don't give a shit if we don't exactly agree on abortion.
Yeah,
or you know what, you think gay marriage maybe should be more of a states' right thing. Like, I'm not going to hate you over that. If we can agree on the most important thing, which is about ideas, the spread of ideas, right? Then the rest of the stuff we can get through. So that's why I'm able to,
Any ideas
do my thing
we
with
can
him.
say to actually damage, when it comes to certain social issues and, the damage that the ideas do, actually. You got to address them honestly, too.
Of course, and that's that's the slippery slope of the ideas versus people argument, and a
yeah,
lot
it
of people
is,
say
yeah.
that to me,
Yeah.
for sure. Like you can't always just say it's ideas versus people because there's a lot of people that may not be beheading or may not be actively trying to hurt anyone, but they silently condone things, which then allows ideology to grow. So that's where my guess is probably for everyone in this room, as if we're people that are more liberal thinking. If you just don't say anything as your side goes off the deep end, you are actually strengthening the bad guys.
Yeah.
So that's why this has been such an important thing to me, because people say I don't attack the right enough. And it's like, I'm not on the right.
Yeah.
So everybody on the
We
left
get that
attacks the
also.
right.
Everybody thinks we're on the right. People are calling me like Trump. You're a Trump supporter. You're this. You're on extreme right now, Joe. When you're a liberal, I consider myself a true liberal.
I'm
Yeah.
a left libertarian. So I was like,
If the three of you are Republicans, you are literally the most non-stereotypical Republicans I've ever seen in my life. I mean,
we're not in tune ties.
yeah.
right, but that's the point. I mean, that's the point. Look, I've said this on the show several times. In every major election in my entire life, I've always voted Democratic. I'm not even proud of that anymore because it actually sounds kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
I did vote for, and I forgot this. I said it on my show once, but the second time that Giuliani ran in New York City, I did vote for him because he cleaned up New York. He really did. So I have voted for a Republican once. So when these people are, you're defending the right. No, I'm trying to clean up my side. You have to clean up your shit
It's
first.
exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like we're on our side. We're just trying to clean up of the people that are misinforming and just misrepresenting in certain issues or social issues and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've heard that before. People are always, why are you attacking people on the left? Why are you going after people on the left? Why don't you go after people on the right? Because
we got to address our own.
So
there's already plenty of people going after the right. Why do I need to join into that crowd instead of going and trying to correct our own?
Yeah.
And then you can't really go after the right unless your own house is cleaned up first.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, we have to have some sort of moral high ground here, right?
Correct.
So if you want to address these things honestly. So look, yesterday there was this whole, all these people attacking the Trump supporters as they left the rally.
San Jose.
Now look, they're literally San Jose.
Yeah.
So they're sucker punching on the streets, blood dripping down.
Burning American flag.
They're burning American flags,
Flags.
which by principle I'm not really against because it's freedom of expression.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure, but there are masked people making hordes of people surrounding this girl. Did you see that video? And they're pelting
I didn't
her
see it.
with eggs and food.
Oh, were they?
And it's
I
like,
didn't see that, no.
so look, I'm not defending every idea that Donald Trump is saying. By the way, I don't think all of his ideas are terrible because in a lot of ways he's more of a centrist in some respects certainly than Ted Cruz. To me, Ted Cruz was the one we all had to fear because he was a true right-wing Christian. That's a problem. Trump is just a clown who's more of a centrist, I think. The point is you have to stop those people from doing that.
Yeah.
When I spoke with Milo, there were 100 people blocking. They created a human wall, so they're not really against walls because they'll create a wall themselves. They'll create a wall themselves to stop you from going into a speech. They just don't like that wall. It's like we have to have some level of intellectual honesty to really debate the argument. Yeah. And if the more that good liberals, whatever you want to call it, that sounds corny, but the more that rational people don't call out the bullshit on our side will just keep going. It'll keep going and there'll be nothing left. And that's why this wake up has happened because people are sick of it. Those are not liberals. Yeah. If you're standing out there to stop Milo Yiannopoulos, this bleach blonde haired gay guy from Britain who you could knock over with a fucking feather. Yeah. Right. If you fear him, you got real problems.
Yeah, definitely.
But remember what he says is literally killing trans people.
Yeah. Right. That's and look, when I interviewed him up there, he kept talking about trannies, went out of his way to make offensive remarks about Black Lives Matter, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't agree with in principle if we could have unpacked all of it. But the point is, I have to let him say those things and let the ideas get out there, and then every bad idea will be beaten by a good idea. And that's what these guys, all they did by blocking the entrance to Milo's speech or attacking Trump supporters, all they do is multiply them like gremlins. It's like throwing a gremlin in a fucking pool and then watching them spread. If a Trump supporter is trying to get to a rally in Arizona, you saw that a couple weeks ago, and they stopped them on the road.
Yeah.
Do you think that those people who stopped on the road got stopped and couldn't get there? Do you think they were like, you know what?
Yeah.
These guys make a point. I'm not voting for
not
Trump.
gonna vote for Trump.
No, not only did it increase the chances they're going to vote for
I think
Trump.
it's counterproductive. Yeah.
But then they went to all their friends and family and they said, do you hear what happened? We couldn't even get to the rally because there were people on the streets. So everything they're doing is counterproductive and we must destroy them.
Absolutely. We talked to Lawrence Krauss for a few minutes 2 nights ago about the rally and stuff, and I talked to him about what you just basically stated was about hindering free thought, free expression, open debate when it comes to university. This is what people like you and Gad Sad are tackling right now. Gad Sad, we had him on the show. Awesome guy.
I love Gad.
Him. Gad's a wealth of information. And he's a fresh breath to skepticism.
Yeah. And doing it from an academic perspective, which is almost impossible now.
Yes.
So,
and I think that's one of our main targets right now is addressing the university where they're trying to stifle, hinder, free thought, free expression, and debate, open debate. It's like they're trying to shut down all these, speaking arrangements that are being, had right now, and that's what it's boiled down to right now is just addressing university. And the SJWPC culture that we see in these universities, which is a big problem.
Trust me, if these kids at UCLA were indicative of what's happening in the wider culture, I think the tide might be turning now. Because I talked to so many of them. I'm talking about, and again, across every ethnic divide, Asians in business school, and Black people in social stuff and whatever it is. I hate even mentioning all that stuff. But
I know, but sometimes
Yeah, just to show you that it was everybody. I mean, I talked to everybody that came up to me. I talked to all of them, and they all were getting it. A lot of them were saying to me, "I'm not a Trump guy, but I have to defend this guy's right to speak." You know, Milo. And so just hearing that is showing that some of this stuff is percolating up now. Yeah. It's taken a long time. I've only been doing my show since September. There are many people that have been dealing with this for a lot longer. The way the left has treated us, obviously Sam Harris and Bill Maher and some others.
Yeah.
That's when the Sam thing to me was my wake up, because I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even know who he was before that night on Real Time. I've said this many times before, but I didn't know who he was. And I watched this guy, and all he did was read statistics from Pew polls that are always accepted by everybody. No one ever says that Pew does not do a good job.
You got to remember, but some people
progressives don't.
Well, no, I know that. No, now I know. Now I know polls. They say now you're using polls to generalize that. You know that, which is.
I have a guy actually making a video about me because I committed suicide on my personal YouTube channel back in September, around September I think it was, right? Yeah, you know, I wasn't talking about the SJW culture, the PC culture. I was never talking about Islam. Never talked about Islam. Black Lives Matters and stuff like that. So I basically, I revamped my channel, and I lost a lot of support, man. A lot of regressives out there, and they didn't like when I called them regressives, and
they don't like that.
Video about me. You use that word incorrectly, and I'm like, oh, geez, come on, man. It's because they don't support you anymore, and they just see your change, and it's just pathetic, you know. But I'm staying with it, you know. And we changed the show. We changed the show, the format a little bit. Talking about these issues because I feel they're more important. You know, the people when I came to YouTube, a lot of atheists came to YouTube. They talked about Christianity a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you move along to say Islam and Black Lives Matters or other social issues that we're talking about now, you tend to divide that demographic. You know, and that's what I've been seeing, at least personally, with me on my channel. So,
yeah, well, look, you're first off, you're never going to make everybody happy. So you have to do what you think is right. Period.
Yeah.
Right? Like I could look on Twitter and 99%, believe it or not, of the responses I get are positive and are people that are for me. And I forget all those. And the one guy who writes something where he like slightly misquotes me, that's the one that'll drive me crazy.
Yes.
I don't mind when someone tells you, oh, you're a fucking fag and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But when someone misquotes me, I'm like, oh, but that's not what I said.
And you feel like you gotta like explain yourself and put it into context and try to show people that's not what you said. And
but then
it's
you
sad
look
that you got to do all that groundwork. And
I mean, I don't.
Sometimes people don't, but
yeah. I mean, to me now, I usually look at the Twitter avatar, and I'm like, oh, you're actually just a cartoon with no real face and no deal, nothing. And I'm like, I'm not going to engage you because
shame on.
Yeah, like, look, there's reasons to be anonymous online if you're an atheist in a closed society, right? All the people that Faisal's trying to help, then sure, be anonymous. But if you're just some computer warrior sitting in New Jersey. You know, telling all these public.
Watch his words there, man.
I love New Jersey. Most of my family lives. Most of my family's from Jersey.
I told Dave because we both live in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I love Jersey actually.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
But if you're just some random person doing that and telling all these people who put themselves out there, just trying to rip them apart, well, you don't deserve a fucking brain cell from any of us.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You don't deserve
we're not. None of us are getting rich by doing this. Unless you guys are rolling in dough that I don't know about. But I know I'm not getting. I'm not getting rich by doing this. People are, oh, you're just doing this for clicks and getting rich. And I'm like, I have all IKEA furniture. One day I won't. I hope. That's my goal.
Yeah, it's your goal.
If this thing goes well, I'm going to get rid of my IKEA couch.
Listen, Dave, we totally support you. You're doing a wonderful job, no doubt, man.
You can buy me a
anybody
couch,
we talk about is you. We do talk a lot about you.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
It's finally great to meet up with you and everything. But we got a couple more questions. Grant, I think you want to talk something. A question about the show.
Yeah, the series you had where you had viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Not being rude, I'm just going to fresh it up.
Yeah.
To call you would have a conversation with viewers. What was the response like, and was there anybody that kind of stuck out to you that you want to have on again or like to have a longer conversation?
Yeah, so I really think it might be the best thing that I've ever done professionally. It was the most rewarding. We did 20 interviews back to back with people from Egypt and Jordan and Switzerland and Canada and Brazil and Japan and France. And just back to back, and all of these people that were, again, black and white and trans and gay and straight and who all had the same ideas and all saw the same rot in their countries and wanted to fix it. It was incredibly validating, the fact that these people listen to me, that they, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just some guy that's doing this and it seems to be working just like you guys. And so it was incredibly validating. I think there were a couple people that really stuck out to me. The one more than anybody else, who is a YouTuber, The Last Pharaoh, on.
Yeah.
Do you guys know him?
Yeah, I interviewed him.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's a friend of mine.
Joe. Look, he truly, by coming on, I had to ask him first. I said to him, "You want to wear a Spider-Man mask or
lives in
something?"
Egypt, yeah.
He lives in Egypt.
He almost got in trouble. He almost went to jail.
Well, he's going.
He-
Well, he has,
no,
court, he has court soon.
I made it very
That's
clear
awesome.
you are under no pressure to show your face. Whatever he wanted to do, I was willing to do.
Man, you got me to show his face. I tried. I couldn't.
No, he wanted to do it, and if he want, look, he's an adult, so if he want to do it,
Absolutely.
But look, I've been to Egypt in 1997. It was a very different place, and I don't know that I would feel safe going now. But it was at the time, it was fine. But he's putting himself out there. This is a guy who is brave. So all of these regressive warriors who want to preach about all of this shit and pretend that they're so brave and they're helping the downtrodden Muslims or minorities. It's like, you're not brave, you fucking idiots. You're defending ideas that would have you killed. You know who's brave? It's Joe in Egypt who puts his face online to say that he's a free thinker and an atheist and whatever else it is to fight the power in Egypt, and who openly talked about the political stuff. It's, forget atheism, just talking about the political atmosphere. So I'm going to do an hour with him. So he was the one. He was the one that I was like,
Great, yeah, he's a really nice guy.
yeah. But they were all great. I mean, literally everybody I talked to. I love it.
It's amazing they're gaining ground actually when it comes to YouTubers that are ex-Muslim. I'm like, their subscriber rates are exploded, man. Who's the other guy? Inverted
Introverted
Smile.
Smiles?
Yeah, he's great too. I know. I just followed him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just did an interview with him last month, and guys, wealth of knowledge, man. Great guy, and introverted, man. So,
But think about it. So they would frame your conversation with him as somehow you are anti-Muslim. That's the way and that somehow he's also anti-Muslim.
Yeah.
And yet, and this is what the left would do. The left that's for free thought, supposed to be for free thought, free ideas, liberal values, blah blah. They're the ones that the more you help the people who believe in the things that they believe in, the more they will tell you what a racist you are.
Yeah.
And this needs to be destroyed. This ideology must be destroyed. I'm not talking about killing people. I'm talking about killing an idea, because it is running rampant, and that's crazy.
It is. It definitely is,
And I
man.
think a part of that is the far left's idea that you actually absolutely have to protect the minority in all cases. And they look at Muslims and, in the United States they're a minority, but worldwide?
Especially
Come
here in
on.
America, yeah. Especially
Look,
in America, you see that.
The Melissa Chen, who I
prevalent.
had on with Faisal, who introduced me to her, who's wonderful. She's from Singapore, right? She described something that I thought was really interesting that I had never quite framed in this way before. How she's Asian. She's from Singapore, so she looks Asian. Again, it's so stupid when you're talking about race. You always feel like you're about to say something that's, whatever. She's brilliant, this girl. Brilliant. And what she said is Asians in America are a minority, obviously. I don't know anyone know what the percentage is? It's obviously very small. I would
7%.
For what? Asians?
Yeah, I would guess it's far.
Asia, I think it's I think like 3-4%.
And think about it, there are Japanese people who are different than Chinese people, who are different
Right.
from people from Singapore and everything else. But what her point was is that Asians don't get any of the minority cred because Asians have succeeded economically.
Yeah.
Now, I'm guessing they succeeded economically probably because of hard work and a dedication to education. Everyone knows this, tiger moms in China, right?
True,
and all of this stuff. So they're booted off the oppression Olympics, which is a great phrase that I first heard Faisal say. So now you're screwed. So now you're screwed because we want to just put everyone in a box. And we have our list, and retards are here, and gays are here, and now gay men are being booted off. And
Retard. You can't say retard because that's insulting to the retard. So you have to say developmentally challenged. I got to follow that school for that.
it's all very.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
you can't. These girls in class. Well, you can't say retard because it's insulting retard. I'm like, well, is there anyone retarded in this?
I was born in '76. We said retards when I was 8.
Oh, I was born
76
8 years
and
after you.
74.
So,
Yeah.
I say retard. I say all that stuff. I don't care.
But point is that she.
It's not.
That she brought up this point about how Asian people have been booted off this list because they've succeeded as a minority. So the left no longer understands how to deal with them.
Yeah.
So basically, you could do or say anything about an Asian, and they wouldn't care because they now view Asians as the power structure in America. It's so psychotic. And they're not looking for extra credit. Asians aren't looking for extra credit that I know of. I didn't get any sense that she wanted any pity from me because she was a minority, nor did I view her as a minority. I viewed her as what? Actually, I said to Faisal after, I was like, it was her first public interview, I think. I think she could be a huge star in this space because we need more people that are clear in their thinking and willing to call out that kind of bullshit.
What do you think about Mariam Namazi? You think you would have her on the show?
I suppose if she wanted to come on, I would have her on.
think
I would
that'd be a
say
really
that
good discussion.
everything that I would probably want to say to her, people should just listen to the Sam podcast.
Harris, yeah.
I don't know that I could even add anything more to that.
Yeah, he did really do it.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, she sort of implied that I was either a white supremacist or that I sympathize with white supremacists because of Tommy Robinson, my interview with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
even
interview him next week. Yeah.
Right, so I don't even know. I don't even know, but yes, in the spirit of conversation, I would do it. But after listening to Sam thing, to me, it seems like it would be pointless. But it would be, of course, it would be hypocritical of me to say that I just wouldn't do it. No, I mean.
Okay, good. Did you talk about the live show yet? Got Dave's new segment live with his supporters. Like,
Yeah, we did that. We did that.
that's
You
what
were
I thought.
drinking. You were
Oh,
drinking.
yeah.
Put it down,
You got a
Joe.
couple
I
questions.
was going to ask, like, do you think, how long do you think it'll take for us to actually, well, not defeat, but how long do you think it'll take for us to really battle down the regressives and get academia back under control and things like that?
It's going to take a long time.
question, yeah.
Jonathan Haidt, who's a professor at NYU Stern School of Business, I had him on last week. If you want any inspiration, I would say anyone listening to this, if you want to feel good at any level about any of this shit, listen to that interview, because he's dealing with this at an academic level. He's created a group of professors to now join together to start fighting this.
That's great.
So
That's
the guy is
great.
truly doing good work, and,
Yeah,
and
I know about
a
that.
brilliant mind also. So it's going to take a long freaking time, because it's not just about college. They're hearing this now in high school and probably in middle school. So yeah, you got to fight it for a long time. If I'm inspired by one thing, it's that 3 months ago these conversations were barely happening. All of us were we were all sort of having the idea together. Like a lot of people were waking up.
2015,
Yeah.
man. It's just that's when all this shit like broke down. Dude. It
Yeah,
was
and
amazing.
and it's not that the idea got there, but now it's like now the connections are starting to happen.
Correct,
and
yeah.
that's the next step.
It's like this,
Yeah.
this, and then
Yeah.
Lalo. I've talked to Lalo.
Yeah, Lalo's
Good
great.
bud
Look,
with Lalo and.
I mean, think about this. So Lalo
It's
was
like
just
now
this
it's coming
random
together.
guy. When I first met Lalo Dagash we're talking about,
Yeah.
he was known, I think his Twitter handle was Chile's Atheist or something.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
I knew was he said he was a Palestinian atheist in Chile. I was like, that's
We call him the rock
interesting.
thrower, by the way.
Yeah.
a
And guess
nickname
what?
for
He's
him.
okay with that.
Oh, he's fine with it.
Yeah. Well, I could get into a whole other topic about that. I'm gonna let that one.
Wait.
I'm gonna let that one slide. But now, not only has he now moved to LA, and he's working on plenty of good stuff and fighting the regressives and fighting all the people we despise. But he decided to not be anonymous online. I mean, that's the next step. We need a lot of these atheists to say, I'm not going to be anonymous anymore. I'm going to actually stand up for what I believe. I really think that the atheist thing is very much in line with the gay rights movement. In the 60s and 70s, all these gay people had to go to bars on the DL, and they couldn't be out in public and
Correct,
fight
yeah,
for their rights and everything else. Now, look, atheists have equality, except the ideas of free thought need to be fought openly.
Correct.
And so when I see all these people still that are anonymous on Twitter, I do give them shit, because I'm like, I want you guys. I truly believe this, that I am no one special. I happen to be one person fighting this thing.
Yeah.
And it's come, while I've gotten some success from it, it's also come at a personal cost and a certain stress,
It really
a
does.
stress
It really does.
cost,
The
and I've
stress,
lost
really,
friends, and
yeah. And you lose friends,
so it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You're
so
right,
I'm not
man.
some fucking hero. My point is that, like, we need other people.
Correct.
Believe me, if 3 years from now this thing has blown up and I become completely irrelevant, I promise you I will be.
No, I think he'll be known for being on the forefront. and
Then that's
starting
fine.
to-
That's fine. But I would be happy about that. I really would. If I disappeared and nobody ever heard of me again, you can have my Twitter account if you want it. But I would view that as a huge success, because to quote V and V for Vendetta, you can kill a man, but you can't kill an idea. So it's
Right.
not about any of
Correct.
us. We got to get these ideas out there.
And we have to. We got to stay with it. The question I have for you is, I don't know if you want to talk about this or not. TYT. Why'd you leave? What happened?
What's the alcohol situation?
It's pretty good. We got a few bottles.
I
over
mean,
there.
yeah,
we can get a shot of Jaeger if you want.
I mean, people ask me this all the time. Look, I've talked about it enough, but I would basically say
I never heard you talk about it yet, so this is great.
you could throw some rum in there. How about
Yeah.
that? Some ice and some rum. I would basically say this. I saw that ideology really taking root. I saw it taking root hardcore, and maybe I had to be in that world. I had to be in that progressive world to really see what it was,
Yeah.
and see why nothing made sense and nothing seemed to be fact-based and everything was emotion-based,
I
and
saw-
everyone against them was racist and all that stuff. And when you're in it, it just, once I realized it, once that kernel got in there,
You were challenging some of this stuff too. On that.
I was trying, but I didn't even realize. I honestly didn't realize how warped I know it to be.
Yeah.
That ideology. And really, I'm not making this about one person, or I'm not making this personal. I'm just talking about the ideas there. But once I saw it, I was like, it was like pulling a card out of a deck of house of cards. It was like the whole ideology just crumbled. So yeah, and then more than anything else, and I said this to Sam face to face, it had a lot to do with that interview. That 3-hour interview was a debacle.
You talk about the interview with Jenkins?
With Jenkins.
Oh yeah,
it was
a train wreck.
It was a train wreck of epic proportions, and it was so based in just
Feelings.
in feelings and really just horrible motives and
Really bad.
yeah. So I
And
don't know.
like,
that
everybody
I-
knows what we're talking about. It's like, what else can you say?
Yeah,
Just watch it.
there's almost nothing else I can add to that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have, I had friends there that I don't have anymore, so that's not fun. I have better friends now, but
Yeah, you do.
I lost friends for over political
And it
reasons,
sucks, dude, doesn't it?
which
It's
is
just like,
sucks.
you feel
Yeah,
so bad.
yeah. But I see this all the time. I get people that message me and they say, "I'm afraid to post your clip." Because I think my brother is going to hate
Might
me
be
or whatever. And I'm like,
offended, might be
Jesus
offended.
Christ, if they're afraid to post my shit where I'm going out of my way to.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we're really screwed,
But I think that was part of what we're talking about, how the rise of it and everything,
Yeah.
is people finally said, all right, screw it, I'm going to power through. I don't care about these people calling me racist anymore. I don't care
Yeah.
about these people, because they're just,
And you have
they're
to.
just throwing it out there, and you're like, oh, well, doesn't, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
they
trying
put
to
up that
shut it down.
smoke screen. It's just like, they're trying to hinder.
And
your
that
free
doesn't
speech.
mean that there aren't real racists. There are real
Oh,
racists.
absolutely, yeah.
There are real racists. All of us have our own. We all come from different places. We all can have our own prejudices that hopefully you work through in life, or you may not. Look, like the gay rights one, I think is really interesting because what the left did was they made it sound like if you don't the second they evolve on something, if you don't evolve the second they evolve, you're a homophobe.
You're a
That's
homophobe, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It's
7
sick,
years ago, Barack Obama, not even 7 years ago, 5 years ago, Barack Obama was not for gay marriage. So am
You're
I to
on-
believe?
yeah, you're right, yeah.
So let me get this straight. So that means you're telling me that because some people on the left evolved before that. So is Barack Obama a homophobe? Is that what you're telling me? But
Yeah.
that's what progressives want progress so fast that it has to eat itself. It has to destroy everything.
Yeah.
Because if you don't change the second they fucking change.
Yeah.
So now if somebody wants to fucking marry a chair or fuck a goat, if you don't accept it the second they want you to, now you're the enemy.
Correct.
And Faisal and I were talking about this earlier, that we see this all the time. This feeling of how quickly they'll turn on everybody. And the reason is because it's not based in a stable set of ideas.
Yeah.
It's based, they're trying to get control of everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why right now you'll see on college campuses, gay white men are now being kicked out of LGBT groups. They're not allowed to sit on boards at several colleges because your gayness is now, you're out, right?
Yeah.
And now your whiteness now supersedes your gayness.
Devin shirt, white male. I'm a white
Yeah.
male. It's like,
Yeah. By the way,
it's like-
you're talking about Devin Tracy, I assume?
Yeah, he's
So I will give Devin a little
He's a friend of
public
mine.
props because
Yeah.
because I never have before. And look, he says a lot of shit that I think is nuts and not the way I would do things. But I will say this: I caught some of his videos about a lot of these ideas before I had them, and
Yeah.
he did have a lot. His relentless pursuit,
Yes.
even though it was not my style and whatever, his relentless attack did have a lot to do with my waking up.
It's
So
people have a
there's
lot
some
of
public props for you, man.
Yeah, there's some people
God
that
bless
have a
you.
problem with his style, even though when he brings up stats, statistics, sources, I'm like, he's spot fucking on.
Look,
People
look,
just don't like his presentation.
Look, Martin Luther
Had a
King
problem.
had a different style than Malcolm X.
Correct, yeah.
There are gay rights activists who, Dan Savage creates, what was it? The Santorum thing about,
but drugs and
Yeah, he created
Yeah,
that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that Santorum is a frothy mix of poop and whatever. That's a really attacking way. And then there are gay rights activists who did everything legally on, more in a calm way. So every movement has different people that all act differently. Look, I'm just one guy doing this. As I said, there are people who will scream louder than me there, and those people are important too, so everyone does it their own way.
The funny thing is, we're a small minority still, man. Especially your show, our show, addressing the issues, like Islam and university and stuff like that, SGW culture, PC culture. Sargon of Akkad does a good job with it.
I think he does a great
job with it, no doubt. Yeah, it's all. When are you going on the Reason Rally? When are you speaking?
I will be on tomorrow, Saturday, I think at 5:40, going after my good friend Kelly Carlin.
Nice.
I think
yeah.
I think I'm second to last, and then the keynote, and then Wu Tang. I'm opening for Wu Tang. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome, actually, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
But I'm looking forward to it, and then I'm going to do some panels on Sunday, and it's cool just being around people that it's
like-minded
yeah.
individuals to
And-
a certain point.
Look, but we don't.
But it doesn't matter. You don't have to.
Think about it. I was at
Have fun.
a Milo event 2 days ago, which was basically a Trump rally, and I found common cause with some of them. And I'll be here and I'll find common cause with some of these people. And by the way, I would find common cause with some Bernie people too. I'm not going to find common cause with the people that just want to stop everyone from talking and throw garbage cans at people and throw eggs at girls.
No.
But besides those, the rest of us, the cultural libertarians, the people who want to not care about things that you don't have a right to care about the way other people live, and the people who want truly good ideas and liberal values to win, that's how most of us are, and we just got to get louder.
We do have to get louder. There's no doubt. But yeah, what's this? You okay over there, Paul?
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming by, man. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I would like to have you on the show, like doing a formal interview.
We'll do a
Something
proper-
like that. So
a proper sit
interview.
down. Yeah,
That'd be
my
awesome.
pleasure.
Have fun tomorrow, man. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a
Yeah,
good time,
and listen,
so-
you guys, I know you had reached out to me before, so I'm glad that we were able
Yeah, hook up,
to make
yeah,
this happen. And
Yeah, I don't think I was trying to be persistent or anything like that, or try to hound you.
it would seem inappropriate. I mean, to tranquilize me outside, the net and everything, it seemed like a
But
lot.
we're
But
standing there, and I see you walk by. I'm like, because I got pretty good vision. I'm like, and I see the side of your glass. I'm like, Dave Rubin. You're like, that's me. So I was like, great.
But it's great. Look, something's happening here. Go down to this lobby right now. We can all go down there after
Yeah,
this.
I am. I'm gonna
There's
get
something
beer.
happening here. There's something happening here, and we all gotta be part of it.
We need the secular caliphate.
Yeah,
the secular
to
caliphate.
the secular caliphate.
That'd be.
Faisal Baghdadi over here.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna go downstairs in the lounge and have a good time. I'll edit this interview and then I'll try to post it tonight or Sunday. But Dave,
Please edit out all my racist, bigoted comments.
So
if it wouldn't kill you.
That's
There
good.
goes the entire interview. Then.
Yeah, it'll just
it's
be me
gonna
saying
about,
hi.
It's going to be about the whole interview, yeah. So
Yeah.
minus the intro.
Racism is good. Racism is good.
Racism's good. So, guys, we're here at the Reason Rally at the Hyatt Regency. So, if you're in the area, please stop by Saturday and join us for the Reason Rally. It's going to be a great time. So, you can go to reasonrally.org, check out who the speakers are going to be, the times, the after parties, dinners. Dave's looking over at the
I say,
office
there's people
building.
having sex across the way. Look at that.
Haram!
Totally around.
Oh my god, that's funny as shit. So guys, we're gonna head down to the lounge, have a good time, and yeah, we're gonna get a little drunk. I'm getting there, so that's good.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. That's awesome, dude. That's funny as shit, man. But yeah, now I'm gonna start getting messages. Guys, thank you very much for showing up for a little bit. We're gonna go downstairs, have a good time, and we got a dinner tonight. So Dave, thank you.
My pleasure, brother.
We'll make it official.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys, thank you very much for showing up. Love you guys. Be good. All right. See ya.